Hey guys, Ron from Wild Betta Fish USA, and welcome to the pink-bellied side-neck turtle Wild Betta Fish community setup. We just recently added a nice school of about 25 giant danios to this particular tank. They give the tank a lot more life than the Una maculata would. I also added a few plecos to this tank. This tank is not going to be my typical biotope type setup. It's going to be basically fish that I feel that will coexist with Tony, give the tank some life, and also give that wow factor. The giant danios, though not colorful, are extremely active, very inexpensive, and make really good schooling fish. In a tank of this size, they get an opportunity to see the fish interact around the turtle as both the turtle and the fish feed around each other with no issue, no aggression. Tony, if he wanted to, can hunt down pretty much every fish in this tank. But ever since he was a juvenile and placed in the 55-gallon tank with the Una maculata, he has proven to be a model citizen. And for the most part, this has proven to be a success story. I'm curious to see as he gets a little larger, and then eventually we move to a larger tank, how he reacts to the fish then. But for the most part, he doesn't bother them. The Una maculata basically interact with one another, interact with him, and now the danios have proven to be not afraid of him. The plecos are hiding at this point, but as time goes on, they'll show themselves more, and we'll shoot some videos showing those plecos, both the royal pleco and the sunshine pleco. I expect to see those guys flourish and grow in this setup also. So now Tony is about, I would say, 8 inches from nose to tail. And he is growing rather nicely from the 55 now to the 75. I'm gonna get closer to the tank and we're gonna talk about the formation that I built for him. The land formation, I made out of cork to keep it a little bit more natural. And I have a UVA, UVB bulb, which gives him some heat, keeps that basking location at about 91 to 96 degrees, depending on the location. Pink-bellied side-neck turtles are not necessarily known for basking, but I do catch him probably once or so a week, sitting up there, getting the UV rays, warming his shell up. I keep the water temperature in this tank at about 79 degrees. Though it's a little warmer than I would like for wild bettas. So far it hasn't been an issue with those guys stressing out. But for the most part, typical of my setups, driftwood, sand, tannin water. The plecos, I believe, come from more clearer, higher flow. And even though this tank is not exactly clear, the water flow has been replicated with both the sponge filter and power head unit that we're using, and then an Eheim canister filter with discharge right there. The wild bettas have really grown to appreciate the water flow in this particular tank, darting out from their hide spots in the driftwood and grabbing both pellets and blowworms as they swing by. I've tried a lot of different things with wild bettas. This was probably the most unique and different scenario, though I am not the first person to keep turtles and also a pink-bellied side-neck turtle with fish successfully. I believe we tried to do this with wild bettas and show them the versatility. Would I try this with fish in the Coxina complex and some of the smaller wild betta fish, maybe even the splendens? No, negative, I would not do that. You need fish that have some aggression, speed, and size to live with a turtle like this. He shows no attention at all to the fish. As a matter of fact, he's very happy eating his pellets, his shrimp, and all the different types of frozen foods I offer to the fish. He feeds along with them. But that doesn't mean I would add a small, slow bettas or even more sensitive species that are in the Coxina complex to this tank. They just wouldn't flourish. The water flow's too high. Their competition for food just would not work out. you have to carefully select the fish that you're going to keep in a tank like this. And we were able to do that with the more robust Unamaculata, the quicker, speedy Danio species, the corridors that I'll eventually add more of, and then eventually more plecos. My intent is to also add clown loaches and maybe even a couple barbs, or maybe one barb species to add a little bit more color to the school and see where we go from there. Once Tony grows, and of course the Danios grow, the next step would be a 125 or maybe a 150. But for the most part, this tank has proven to be a unique success story that I hope shows that wild bettas are not pigeonholed into being kept in species-only tanks. They can be kept in select community tanks. And also, in my opinion, I think nothing's cooler than seeing an Unamaculata or a Betta antuta with a school of rasboras living and coexisting in their tank. I think that's an awesome scenario. I've replicated that a few times with both antuta and rasboras, and in some instances, some of the smaller species of wild bettas with micro rasboras. So stay tuned for more on this tank, and as we add more fish. And Happy New Year. Have a safe one. I hope you guys enjoy our videos. Please like and subscribe. Your comments are always appreciated. And try to do different things with your fish, especially your wild bettas. Let's try to expand their horizons, making them more than just display fish. They could also be used as community fish. Thank you very much, guys. See you.
Inside my own world of make-believe, kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes.